I'm at my son's new house in South River, New Jersey. New. It's a 90-year-old house. It was built in 1930. The latest problem was this. He called me in a panic this week because the ceiling fan fell out of the ceiling. So let's try and figure out why this happened and what we can do to fix it. So the first thing I told him to do when he called me was, turn off the fan so that it's not going, obviously. The best thing I said to do was to lighten the load. So I told him to remove the bulbs and the globes. And at least that way, it would be as light as possible until I could get here and check it out. Now the next thing is power. So I'm gonna use my non-contact voltage tester to see if it's got power. Yeah, it is still powered. And there is a wall switch here, but I assume that it might only work the light. Yeah, I still have power on those wires, so I gotta go find the right breaker. All right, luckily somebody made a list here of all the breakers. Circuit number 15 says it's got both bedroom lights and fans in it. And that would be this one right here. And it is a 20 amp breaker, which is unusual for lights. All right, let's try it again. And now it is dead. Okay, now I don't have to worry about it. Caution, set screw must be tightened securely before the fan is operated. That's the set screw on the side over there. And the way this worked is there would have been a pin through here and through these holes, and it usually has a cotter pin on the side of it so that it can't pull out. And then the set screw on the side is used to just tighten against this so that it doesn't rattle. Well, it looks like there's no pin there, and it was just held up with the set screw. And of course, over time, the vibrations loosened it up and the damn thing fell. Now, I happen to have with me a spare fan that I took out of my house, but this one does not have the same kind of pin on it. This one is a threaded rod that screws in, and you can see it has a set screw there. So I was gonna take the pin out of this one, but I can't do that. So I think I'm just gonna put this fan up in place of that one. You gotta love old houses. We got cloth wires and electrical tape. But what I can see is that it only has one conductor, one hot, one neutral, and the ground is just coming from the box in the ceiling. Now, what I can also see is that back then they used smaller boxes than the standard 4-inch ceiling boxes we have today. So that's why I need to keep this bracket on here. And luckily the box is attached to wood, so it is nice and tight. But I'm gonna keep this piece on here and attach the fan the same way the other one was. So I'm assuming this is gonna be the hot and this is gonna be the neutral. But I don't like to assume because, I'm anal like that. It's very hard to see if there is any white coating on this wire. I don't really know. So I'm gonna verify that. And the way that I'm gonna verify that is by turning on the circuit breaker and actually testing it. And I also opened up the switch thinking that this would be a junction box, but it's not. You can see there's just two conductors in here. I assume there's a junction box somewhere else, probably in the attic. And this is just a switch loop. So I can't do anything here. All right, with the breaker back on, I could tell that the wire on the left is hot all the time, and the wire on the right is only hot when the switch is down. And I do remember him saying this switch was backwards. And the reason for that is that it's actually a three-way switch. You could see there's screws on both sides here, or top and bottom. You can see under the tape, there's a screw at the top that has no wire on it, and there's one at the bottom. So this is a three-way switch. So I'll probably replace that. And let's test up here. So hot is on all the time. So with the hot on all the time, what I discovered is they actually inadvertently switched the neutral conductor, which in reality, because it's alternating current, it really doesn't matter. And there's no ground, as you'll see in a moment. So it just breaks the circuit and the fan goes off. So it's not unusual. So every electrician toolbox should have multiple testers in it. So this kind of a tester is old school, but it just tells me that I've got line voltage here across these two because the switch is on. Now what I can also do is take it off of the hot and touch it to the ground, and I don't get any light then. And I can also switch and go to what I think is the neutral and touch the ground, and I get no light. So what that tells me is that it's an open ground. This house was wired with BX, and BX is not always the best ground. So I'm left with the choice of, do I rewire the whole circuit, or do I just put the fan up and let it go? So what would you do? Leave me a comment down below and be honest. All right, the plot thickens. There's no place in here to attach screws. So this rod is actually what held on to the lights back then. And this bracket is necessary. And unfortunately, this piece that's sticking down is going to be in the way of the receiver. See, this old fan has no pull chain. It just has a remote control, and this receiver has to sit above it. And there's not enough room with that bracket sticking down. This thing. With that sticking down, there's no way that I can fit the remote in there. So the only choice I'm left with is to go and buy an inexpensive fan that has pull chains.
1 hour later.
All right, after a quick trip to Lowe's, I found a ceiling fan that just has pull chains, no remote. So that should fit back where this one was. So I'm wiring the new fan as a close mount without a down rod. And I put the black and the blue on the hot line and the white neutral on the one that was neutral before. And wired it and hung it exactly the same way. Okay, the fan's all hung. Now it's time to turn on the breaker. And of course I changed this switch as well so that up is on. Well, let's test the light first. And that works. Let's try the fan. Ah, beautiful. Now, ironically, because I did a close mount on that fan, I didn't use the down rod. And you can see this is the little pin that was missing from the old fan. Now, some people would have just opened the box, taken this pin, and returned it to Lowe's. But that's bad karma, so don't do it. All right, thanks so much for sticking with me and seeing how this project turned out. It was a bit hairy there for a while, but everything worked out okay. And of course, I'll put a link to that fan down in the video description below if you're looking for one like it. And of course, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and I will see you in the next one. Hey there, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon to be the first to know when new videos are posted. Look for HandyDadTV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and visit the website HandyDad.tv for more great ideas and information.